Well, hello and welcome back to episode number 5 of Leaders Fuel Daily. I want to welcome everyone that is listening or watching this episode. I'm here with my good friend, Michael Shamberger. Michael, you and I have had some really great conversations with each other, some really rich, digging in on some personal growth issues. We have this kind of these sort of converging backgrounds because I spent 30 years as a camp professional, and then I came into business coaching. And you spent almost 3 decades as a soccer coach and a really well-known soccer coach in North Carolina. And then you came into business coaching. And as I recall, you and I met actually in a way that we weren't physically together. We're both coaches with the Life Forming Institute, and the Life Forming Institute was doing a certification training on something called Dreamfire coaching. And you were doing it virtually, and I was there. And then we got connected after that. And that's what really got the start of some great conversations. And we've continued a relationship since then. Did I get all of our history correct there? Did I miss anything?
You did, except for the amount of time that I was a soccer coach. That was 2 decades, technically 19 years.
Nice, nice. Good solid time. And so you were called coach before you were a business coach. That was how people affectionately knew you. Is that right?
That is correct. And they still call me coach.
Still call you coach, everybody. That's interesting. I have from my some of my camping days, there are certain people who still call me chief because when I was doing therapeutic wilderness camping, that was the title we went by. So there are certain people around the planet where that's the only way we address each other. So I love that. And I'm sure as you go around North Carolina, you're quickly recognized by many people.
I wouldn't say that.
Well,
For those who know me from soccer, yes, they still call me coach.
nice. Well, how did you make that transition from coach to coach? How did that go for you?
Okay. I will try not to make this too long.
Sure.
Yes, I coached high school boys soccer for 19 years
Hmm.
here in central North Carolina at Northmore High School in Robbins, a little small town in a rural community. And I knew that my time of coaching soccer was coming to an end. But I was trying to make sure as to when the end was exactly supposed to be. And I had heard something, I think it was Dean Smith, Carolina's basketball coach, years ago. And he said something that, like, when it was time for him to retire, one day he would wake up and he would know it. And that's pretty much what happened with me.
Hmm.
There were some other previous times, actually, that I tried to retire from coaching soccer, but it wasn't because I knew it was time to.
Hmm.
But this time coming around, I knew it was time for me to retire, mostly from just me getting older, and physically it was demanding on me.
Hmm.
And riding an activity bus at that age is not something you really want to do.
It's a young man's game, right? Yes.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, so I was like, okay, it's getting time. But so when I turned in my resignation from coaching soccer, that was a part-time job. But I had another job. I was also pastoring. Well, I was an associate pastor
Okay.
at the church that we were attending,
Hmm.
and I had been doing that for 6 years. But my wife uh, was and still is a professor at Fayetteville State University
Hmm.
in Fayetteville, North Carolina, and we were living an hour and 15 minutes away from her job.
Hmm.
And so once I finished up soccer, we had the thought, and it's like, okay, I don't have this responsibility anymore. Let's move closer to Fayetteville so my wife doesn't have so much of a drive.
Yeah.
So that's what we did. And once we moved, of course, I needed to find a job. And people like you and my son,
Hmm.
as I was questioning people about what I should do, as well as, of course, praying and asking the Lord about what
Hmm.
I should do,
Hmm.
um, it just came around. It seemed like the confirmation was that I should check into life coaching or being a consultant of some kind.
Hmm.
And so I really didn't want to do that from the standpoint of having my own business
I see.
because I've never really seen myself as an entrepreneur or as a business person.
Hmm.
I love doing the coaching, just working with people or working with the business or whatever. I really enjoy that. But the quote business aspect of it,
Hmm.
such as marketing and putting stuff online and keeping it maintained and up to date and all that goes with all that, that's just not my cup of tea.
Yes.
So, but after much prayer and getting continued confirmation from people that that was the way I should go, I decided, okay, I'm going to step out and we're going to try this, even though it's way out of my comfort zone.
Hmm.
But I had been so much out of my comfort zone already that it was like, well, there's no choice.
There you go.
So
That was
I stepped out into coaching. I started my own business called Masterpiece Consulting Solutions.
hmm.
And my good friend, Rick Burrs, who is a BNI member, encouraged me to find a BNI chapter in Fayetteville or nearby. And sure enough, I did. And the people in that group have been extremely helpful to me. I
Outstanding.
am fairly sure I would have quit had it not been for those and my wife and my son and others like Rick, just continuing to encourage me in the business. So that's pretty much how I made the transition from coaching soccer to doing life coaching.
Nice. Okay, so I have this is kind of a two-part question that I want to ask you. Okay, so first part is how has uh, being coached yourself as a participant, how has that benefit? You mentioned that you kind of had the support network by joining the BNI group. What about the benefits of being coached as a participant? What are some things that helped you with?
I would say one of the people other than you who helped me in very specific ways
Mm-hmm.
would be my son.
Mm-hmm.
He's like 37, 36, 37 years
Mm-hmm.
old now. And he is definitely a business person,
Yes.
definitely an entrepreneur. Um, and so, he, in those very early days of me starting the business, worked
Mm-hmm.
with me a lot in dad, do this,
Yeah.
dad, do that,
Yeah.
dad,
Yeah.
don't do that.
Yeah. 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 You had your own ready-made consultant there, didn't
Yes,
you? That was
sir.
great. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And so he was very, very helpful in a lot of the specifics.
Yeah.
Um, and then a lot of the information that I got from you
Mm-hmm.
helped me in kind of forming the ideas of what I wanted to do as far as narrowing it down
Yeah.
um, versus what I didn't want to do.
Yeah.
Um, the other people in my local BNI chapter, and for anyone listening who doesn't know what BNI stands for, it's Business Network International.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, the other people in my chapter helped me um, because we have to do what's called one-to-ones,
Mm-hmm.
which are basically you meet with another person in your chapter and you just talk to each other pretty much about business, but it can also be about personal. And the idea is to help each other and encourage each other in your business, and to find out ways that I can help you and you can help me.
Yeah.
And so,
Business referral. We're trying to help do business or find business referrals for each other. Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so they helped me a lot by pretty much, I would say, encouragement,
Mm-hmm.
as well as sending me referrals.
Mm-hmm.
And several of them have been my um, customers or clients as well.
Yeah. So okay. So here's the second part of the question. What is it that you love about being a coach, and what is happening in the coaching relationship? What do you love about it?
Now, that's an easy question to answer. What I love, I'm a helper.
Mm-hmm.
I love helping people.
Mm-hmm.
And so one of my slogans is, my goal is to help you achieve your goal.
Nice.
So I light up. I come alive.
Yeah.
I realize that I'm helping someone else be successful.
Nice.
Now that help can vary in many different ways.
Mm-hmm.
But when I realize that I'm helping someone else
Mm-hmm.
achieve what they want to do,
Mm-hmm.
when I see the light bulb go on in their eyes, then
Yes. Yeah.
it goes on in my eyes too.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
I
like
really get
yeah.
encouraged from that. Yeah.
It's like a heightened sense of aliveness, isn't it? It's kind of
Yes.
there's an energy in that. I think that
Yes. Very
uh,
much.
I always think about as a coach. The design. It's a coaching relationship is a designed alliance. So the idea is that we're both giving energy to your goals. My goal is your goal, as you said, and the idea is that the energy all comes back on the side of the participant, meaning what you're giving is meant to all go to completely benefit the participant in whatever form it is. I have to say, I've found that there's a part of that relationship I cannot deny that uh, energy does come back to me, even though that's not my agenda. But I never leave a coaching session at the same level as what I entered it. It's always a level up. And is that what you're experiencing as well?
Oh, very much, very much. Um, just again, just helping people. I would say one other slogan that I have, which is my tagline, is
Mm-hmm.
revealing the masterpiece within you.
Oh, nice.
And so, what I mean by that is that for me as a Christian,
Mm-hmm.
I believe that God has created every single person on this earth. And because of that, every single person, one, is a masterpiece,
Mm-hmm.
and every single person is of tremendous worth and value. And God has instilled within each person talents and skills and abilities and whatever else. And my job is to help that person find or reveal and come across those gifts and talents, or maybe they already know what they are,
Mm-hmm.
but they need help refining them or
Nice.
something like
Yeah.
that. And so that masterpiece that is within each person is what I endeavor to help them see and uh, develop.
Nice. It's like I heard that thing about somebody asked Michelangelo, how did he create the statue of David? And he said, "Well, I just took the big block of marble and I took away everything that wasn't David." So it's that masterpiece. I think of what you do. It's like that. You're helping a person take away the things that aren't part of the masterpiece, or amplify or magnify the things that are. And
Exactly.
that's a special conversation that happens, isn't it? When in those moments.
Yes, it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. Well, it's a privilege, and so we've kind of, already revealed. The whole point for me of doing Leaders Fuel Daily is about, a conscious leadership nitro boost and entrepreneurial empowerment, and in anyone that I'm having these podcast discussions with, we're really, hoping that our conversation is going to be empowering to other people who are on an entrepreneurial journey. And so, you know, and then I also want to take an opportunity for people to get to know those who are having these conversations with me. So with you, we've already kind of let the cat out of the bag. You're a business coach, and your Masterpiece Consulting is your business. But tell more about that. And you know, one thing I want to hear more about, and I want people to know about, is that you're also an author, and you have a great devotional book available. And it's interesting because at the beginning I said coach to coach, and so you've kind of taken some of your, well, I don't want to steal your thunder, but so your book, Beyond the Pitch. So tell us about anything else about what you do, and I definitely want people to know about your book as well.
Well, with Masterpiece Consulting Solutions, I come alongside either a person
Mm-hmm.
or a business or a church or a ministry, and I help people, businesses, churches, etc.,
Mm-hmm.
to find solutions to issues they are having. And it may not be, quote, an issue that someone would think in that way,
Mm-hmm.
but it may just be a challenge. It may be, I'm stuck. I need to figure out a way how to do this, or I need some new ideas. That's where I come along, and I come in. The way I do it is
Mm-hmm.
really very simple, because
Mm-hmm.
it's just the way that God has blessed me to be able to help others.
Mm-hmm.
Is I come in, my first session is always free,
Mm-hmm.
because I want people to feel comfortable with me.
Mm-hmm.
And before they pay me anything, I want them to have an assurance and a thought of, yes, I want to work with Michael, and I
Mm-hmm.
want Michael to work with me.
So it's a
And
good fit.
so that first session for me is always going to be free.
Mm-hmm.
And once we start working together and sign the paperwork, then what I do is I come in and I ask questions and I listen,
Mm-hmm.
and I ask more questions and I listen. And what I'm doing by asking those questions and listening is I'm helping to focus in and drill down. And so then there's usually a situation where I will give my client some homework to do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it may be that I give them some type of an assessment, some questions to answer, something to read, and then they're going to do that, and they're going to get back with me, and we're going to drill down some more.
Mm-hmm.
And what usually happens is the whole time we're not just doing willy nilly. The whole purpose of this is specifically to help a client in a particular way. So
Mm-hmm.
we have addressed an issue in the first session, or at least in the second one, that specifically we're working on.
Mm-hmm.
So my homework and exercises that I give to a client are specifically for the purpose of helping regarding that topic that we're working on. And so, as we are dealing with the homework and the readings and answering the questions, etc.,
Mm-hmm.
then again, at some point there, a light bulb clicks on, and the customer goes, "Oh, I got it." Or, "What if I do?" And it's like, "Yes." And
Nice.
so that's when that light bulb clicks on, and
I love it.
that's how I help my clients, because I don't want to come in. I don't see myself, quote, as the expert on
Yeah.
anything,
Yeah.
but I do know that God has blessed me to be able to be a great listener and to be able to help people find solutions. And so
Nice.
that's what I do.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I say revealing the masterpiece within you. It's
Mm.
not me, but it's the Lord using me to help other people. And that's how we do it.
Nice.
And you mentioned the book.
Yeah.
I'm going to hold it up here. Hopefully,
Yeah.
people can see it.
I can
It's
see it.
called Beyond the Pitch,
Yes.
and Soccer Strategies for Winning at Life. Many people have told me that I should change that subtitle to just Strategies for Winning at Life,
Mm-hmm.
because it's the book, even though it's written from the perspective of a high school soccer coach of 19 years, which was me. The information in the book is about life in general.
Mm-hmm.
The topics in there apply to every area of life, no matter what you're doing or where you are. And so I've had several people read the book who are not sports people. And they read it because they knew me and they wanted
Yeah.
to buy the book and read it because I had written it.
Mm-hmm.
And then they come back and they say, Michael, I thought I was going to be reading a soccer book, but this is a soccer book. This is a book about life and about
Mm-hmm.
how to be a parent, how to be a good employee, and various other things. So, so yeah, it's I wrote this book in the summer of 2019, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
It got published the end of January, early February of last year,
Mm-hmm.
2020.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's been out on the market now for a year.
Yes.
And yes, you can buy it from my website, which is masterpiececs.com.
Mm-hmm.
You can also find it on Amazon
On
as well.
Amazon. Well, and and I have my copy and love it, and we're going to anywhere that this recording goes out, it's going to have links. People will be able to get right to that and be able to find it and be able to find you. And I do have one question about would you, if someone were to need to do coaching virtually with you, would that be something that you could do with them?
Absolutely.
Okay,
In
good.
the age of COVID-19, especially,
Mm-hmm.
that's how I do my sessions for the most part. Is they are done through video format.
Nice. Well, Michael, man, I look forward to more conversations with you. I appreciate very much that you took time out to get on the line with me here and talk about going from coach to coach and what that's meant for you and for other people. And I just, like I said, look forward to other conversations coming up. And so thank you very much for being a part of
Thank
this.
you, Rick. Rick, I have one last thing I would like to say, if you don't mind.
Absolutely. Yes.
This is for the people who are entrepreneurs
Mm-hmm.
and you are starting your business or you're trying to decide whether to start your business. I just want to say to you, do not be afraid to fail.
Mm-hmm.
Most people who are successful in life have failed many, many times before they truly became successful. So, what I want to say to each one of you is when you fail, not if, but
Yeah.
when you fail, the important thing is to get back up and learn from that, make some adjustments, and then keep going.
Keep on going.
And
Well,
that's what I'm learning as I am doing my business as well. Make adjustments, learn from your mistakes, and keep going.
nice. Outstanding. That's great. Good parting advice. Well, thank you so much for that, and we'll look forward to hearing what other input people have about this episode. So appreciate you very much.
Thank you, Rick.
Mhm.